In the previous video, we did part 1 and 2 of this question, where we found the grad of phi and the divergence of A, right? The gradient of phi and the divergence of A. This time we're going to find the curl of A. And I have this formula sheet here. So curl A, curl is really the del cross A, the cross product between the nabla or the del and the A. Alright? So really, nabla is partial by partial x in the I direction plus partial by partial y in the j direction plus partial by partial z in the k direction. Dot this thing here. I mean, not dot, cross this thing here. 3xzi minus x, well, this is kind of in the way, minus x y squared j minus 2x squared yk. So we're going to cross those. Now remember what you do when you cross two vectors, find the cross product. You have the formula here. Alright? So row 1 will contain the directions I, j, and k. Row 2 will contain del, which is partial by partial x, partial by partial y, partial by partial z. That's the coefficients of the directions from the vector on the left. Now you will have the coefficients of direction of the vectors on the right now. So what you're going to have is 3xz negative xy squared negative 2x squared y. Alright? So just to check again, 3xz negative xy squared negative 2x squared y. Alright, so you're going to cross these. Now, this is this determinant. Once you see the vertical lines, you know that that is a determinant, right? Now, del cross A is I times, now all of this is a third order determinant, but you remember how to get the second order determinant too. How to get the third order determinant is to, you have to know how to get its second order determinant too. So you cover the rows and column with I, and what you see left are partial by partial y, partial by partial z, negative xy squared, negative 2x squared y, minus, remember your place signs, minus j. When you cover the row and column with j, you see partial by partial x, partial by partial z, 3xz, negative 2x squared y. And then, well, it's supposed to be straight. Trying to make it straight. And then plus k now. When you cover the row and column with k, you see partial by partial x, partial by partial y, 3xz, negative xy squared. Alright, so there you have that. Now, work it out. So del cross A is I times, remember your AD minus BC, this minus this. So it's this time this minus this time this, right? So it's partial by partial y of negative 2x squared y minus partial by partial z of negative xy squared. Alright? Let me use a square bracket for this, make it look different from the other bracket. Okay, minus j times is going to be partial by partial x of negative 2x squared y minus partial by partial z of 3xz plus k now. What will happen to the k? It's going to be partial by partial x of negative xy squared minus partial by partial y of 3xz. Alright. So then del cross A equal, which is the curl of A, equal I times. Alright, when you differentiate this, you get negative 2x squared minus, when you differentiate this with respect to z is 0. Right? You see that? Because there is no z in it. So you get 0. Minus j times, what happens with this now? When you differentiate this, you get 2 2 is 4, so it's negative 4x y. Right? Minus, when you differentiate this with respect to z, you get 3x plus k now. Tap in with the k. When you differentiate this, you get, with respect to x, you get negative y squared minus, differentiate with respect to y, you get 0. Alright? So therefore, del cross A, which is the curl of A, is negative 2x squared I minus, well, guess what? If you multiply both outside and inside by negative 1, you get plus. So you can say plus 4xy minus 3x j, and then minus y squared k. So there you have your curl. Oh, it's plus inside. I multiply inside and outside by negative 1. Right, so both negative 4xy and the negative 3 becomes plus 1 positive. So there you have the curl of A.